when you told me we had the most amazing weekend. Like that is so heartwarming for me, right?
I said like for this the weekend that just went by, it was one of the best weekends we had since getting together. And this is now we've been together for about 9 years. It's taking on 10 years. Next year it will be. And this was one of the weekends where we didn't really need to talk to each other, just enjoying each other's company. We haven't had that type of weekend in God knows how long. There were always like some sort of issue that would be underlaying at the bottom where it's like, yeah, we're friendly towards each other, but not addressing the root cause. That root cause is not there anymore. It's like two lovebirds that are still in love.
Oh my, I love that.
Thank you for fixing that. It, I told you about it. I overcame the beliefs or the issues that I had, and I was able to overcome it and give him what he needs.
Yeah, a partnership uh, and a couple relationship is really about both people being in a space where they feel seen, where they feel heard, where they feel, valued, validated, and the conflict is always because one person or both people oftentimes don't feel that. And, either we're putting the issues under the rug because it's hard, or
Mhm.
we're so caught up in my own problem that I'm not looking at the other person's problem, the partner's problem, and
Mhm.
it goes on and on. And I see so many people who've been married or been together for so many years having the same problem, the same patterns. They're saying the same things to each other, right? And they're behaving the same way. And like, come on,
And that's exactly what it was with us. Like no matter whatever issues we had, I would say, yes, I'm not going to repeat these mistakes again. And then his saying was, well, sweep it under the rug again, as you had said, sweeping it under the carpet. Eventually the bump had gotten so big that there was no way to avoid it. We had no choice but to address those issues. And I didn't know how to address those issues myself because I kept on repeating my negative patterns until I spoke to you about it. I don't know what you did, but those issues have since then they've been resolved. And whatever, so like the one issue that we always had was me sitting on things where I wouldn't he asked me to do something, I said yes, I would do it, and I would not actually end up doing it. Mentally, I knew I'm supposed to do this thing. Why I'm not doing it, I have no idea. Now I make it a point, you know what, this needs to be addressed. I'm going to go and do it. Since making those small changes, it's impacted him differently. He shows up differently in my life now. He's so much happier. It's a skip in his step now.
oh, wow.
And like, and every single morning, like he used to make tea, but like you could always sense like, why am I doing this for her? Like she's not doing anything for me. Now he brings the tea here while I'm sitting on the couch. Which man does that in this day and age?
So basically, what was happening was, when he's asking you to do something, and for whatever reason, whatever blocks you had within yourself, you weren't able to do it. What it
Hmm.
was telling him was, you don't care. What he's
Exactly.
asking is not important. And whatever the task meant for you as your family, as a couple, you didn't value, So after a while, he would start to get resentful because where is he feeling that you're pulling your weight, like you said?
Hmm.
But,
Exactly.
now that you step up, and I think you have a skip in your step as well, because every time you and I get together every week for the healing sessions, you're a completely different person. Oh my God,
I
Amy,
feel like
completely different.
I feel like a completely different person. We've been working together what has been like what we started in August. So August, September, October. So we're on our fourth month right now. In December, it'll be the fifth month. But it's like when we first started, I was basically looking for answers. I was open to anything. It's like I wanted the help. So and there was always this rain cloud on top of my head. I was never in a good mood. No matter how much I tried, something would always fall apart. Now it's like, you know what? If something is not meant to be, it's not meant to be. I'm going to stay positive. I'm going to put out positive energy into the universe. And if something is meant for me, it will find me.
Very true, very true, You also attend my Free Tuesday Becoming Unlimited Circle, and I think we talk about all of those things there as well. So I think
Mhm.
between the one-on-one that you and I have, every week, and I think that Tuesday sessions, it's supplemental information because,
Definitely.
with you and I can't cover everything that there is to cover from a spiritual wisdom perspective.
Hmm.
So, and I love to see that you're taking all of these things. Of course, it took a while because while you've got the blocks and you're in a certain frame of mind, it is harder to just jump on a new bandwagon and be a different person. But you stayed, you showed up, and then slowly, as the work was being done, as the healing was taking root, you stepped up and you started to do all this, the physical things that you could do
Hmm.
for the betterment of yourself, for the betterment of I call it family. I know it's just the two of you and three dogs, but it's a family.
It is.
Um,
There are fur children.
yes, yes. So tell me, Amy, what was happening to you, uh, and how did you finally come about meeting with me?
So basically what was happening is I was just very depressed. I had childhood trauma issues that came from my upbringing from my parents, and I just wanted answers like why me? Like I did all in short terms, my parents just made a lot of money off of me and they took a lot of money from me as well. So because of that, I had a very scarce mindset where I don't like spending money. And I'm that is a still work in progress for me. But so that's where the whole childhood trauma was coming from. And I was just a very sad, depressed person, if you want to call it. After working with you, I had a few
And what
sessions.
brought you to me? How did you find me?
I was There's this mortgage broker that I know, his name is Gary. We were talking about mortgage rates and whatnot, and then all of a sudden we somehow got talking to trauma, and immediately your name had come up in the conversation. He's like, I've worked with this person. I had my own stuff that I needed to deal with. I had seen a few people, nobody made a difference, but she made a difference in my life. I'm like, you know what? At this point, I'm open to anything. I know I need help. So I messaged you that one day. You messaged me almost back instantly saying that if we need to speed this call up, we can speed it up because I guess you sensed something from my text message. We had that intake session, and since then, I've been looking forward to our weekly calls. Another drastic difference that has come in my life is that I used to take cannabis edible gummies because I wanted to numb something inside of me. I used to drink alcohol, but recently it's probably been about a month and a half now. I haven't touched any sort of edible. I drink here and there, but it's not to numb anything. It's just for the sake of having a cold drink when you're sitting in front of a wood fireplace. I now work out on the daily. I run on the elliptical for about 30 minutes. My mindset is completely different what it used to be. And because of that, even though I'm still me at the end of the day, but I'm not me, if that makes any sense.
Oh, makes perfect sense to me. Because the whole work is about bringing the real you that is hiding under all the pain, all the trauma, all the fears, insecurities, where your light gets all dimmed. The idea and my work is all about removing all of that trauma and all of those um, feelings that you carry that don't help you be the best version of yourself. And as we clear those, then you start to shine like you are, and you begin to even feel it internally. It's not just me telling you, you are telling me every time we meet, right? That now this is better. And while we're talking about this, I want to know a little bit about your husband. So He knows that you and I work together,
I don't hide anything.
of course, and as you shouldn't. Uh, how how is he responding? Like, I'm sure was he skeptical at the beginning, and now is he? Maybe he didn't say very much, but like he must be happy with this new version of his beautiful wife that he has gotten back or has now. Like you said, you were never this person even at the beginning. So, tell me about him. How does he
So
feel?
with him, he doesn't really believe in anything. He needs to, whatever his mentality is, it's like he doesn't, I don't want to say anything wrong here. He's a person that doesn't believe anything. He doesn't believe in God. To him, how he sees the world, if it's a negative world, he sees it in a negative light. He sees something on a happy note, he takes it as a happy note. So he takes it as he sees it, basically. To this day, he knows that I work with you and we're doing all of the healing, but to him, he doesn't believe in it though. But now he does see a difference in me. He's like, you know what? If you think it's helping you, you do you. But every single morning I see him, there's a smile on this man's face. He doesn't say a lot unless it's in anger, but because I've been keeping up my part of the relationship, I've been doing what I need to do. I've been loving him as he deserves to be. He's happier. I see that change in him, even though he may not say something.
So you were telling me last week when we spoke that he has not been angry for a few weeks, right? So if he's not been angry, there's been no conflict in the relationship, which means, I know you were telling me that he would not speak to you for days on end, and you would be crying, and there would be stress and tension on for both of you. So
Hmm.
now, if there's no anger, there's no reason for anger. There's no anger, and then you're just, the atmosphere at home would be absolutely peaceful, harmonious, and inviting. Like, you want
Oh,
to spend time together, and that the house just feels Christmassy.
it really is, even though we don't have our tree up yet because he has this thing where no trees before December 1st. He's just one of those people. I want to put up a tree, but again, I have three dogs. If they eat something, that's another issue that I'll have to deal with. So you know what? I won't have a physical tree, but I do have a mental tree and it's always lit up.
But on the first, you get a real tree, don't you?
I have a tree, it's in my basement, but because I have three dogs, I don't necessarily want to decorate it because one of my dogs has eaten some of the ornaments.
Oops, that's dangerous. Okay,
Yeah, so just to avoid that whole issue, I'm just not gonna put one up.
fair enough, fair enough. And they're big dogs, so it's not that you can even put like kind of a fence around it
They'll
because,
get out.
they would just, okay, well, for me, if every day feels like Christmas, then we win.
We really thank you, honestly, like thank you. Because of you, I want it. I feel like I want it life. I'm somebody that's finally in a positive mindset and I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I never saw that before. Everything was just shut, rain everywhere, depression everywhere, and there were times I didn't want to get out of bed. Now I don't look at my like I at this point I have a full-on morning routine and I look forward to it every single morning. I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't look at my phone. I have an iPhone, so I ask Siri to shut it off for me. I do my morning prayer, which is Japji Sahib. Then I speak out loud into the universe saying that I'm going to have a good day. I give scratches to my dog, have my morning tea. I meditate in the morning now. I work out for about 30 minutes. I now journal, put all my feelings into a book, and then I get my day started. I think I probably look at my phone around 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning now. And that's only to look at emails, not random scrolling. I feel like I have so much more me time now that I can put it to actual good use instead of doom scrolling and making myself depressed.
And now there's purpose in your life, right? You're working towards something. I mean, not that you weren't working, you've been successful in your job, you're a realtor, you're very successful there as well. But you weren't feeling it. Now I
Exactly.
believe you're feeling it, right?
Definitely. Like first I was like, I was doing it for the money, just to be blunt. But now it's like the money is going to be the cherry on top. At the end of the day, everybody needs money. Everybody has bills to pay. But now it's like I genuinely just want to help families get into home ownership and have them make their memories in that new house. And then whenever I do get paid, that's just the cherry on top.
Absolutely. Okay. So the other day you were telling me about the heart chakra meditation that I have given you and sort of the shift in. Tell me about that.
So with that one, the first time I did it, there were feelings of sadness that had come up. I was in actual tears when I was doing it. But after doing it and just sitting with those emotions and whatever childhood trauma that I had from my parents, I forgave them. And I can say that without breaking in tears now. Every time I would talk previously in the past, every time something would come up or they were involved, like a conversation about them, I would well up. There would be like this big stone in my throat and I couldn't speak. Now, here we are, and I'm telling you this, I've forgiven my parents and I can smile about it now.
You feel free?
I've definitely finally feel free. Like I always had this inner voice, and that was my mother's voice telling me, "You're worthless, you're not good enough, you'll never amount to anything." Like those words, they used to pierce and they used to make me
Sure.
cry. Now that voice, it's not there anymore. It's my voice. And when I do have a negative thought about myself, I just shut it off and I think about something positive.
Good for you. Absolutely. Yeah. The childhood wounding tends to define us very wrongly, of course, but it is the messaging that has been given to us when we were young. And a lot of people spend most of their lives just trying to compensate for it in
Hmm.
different ways. Some people get into alcohol, like you were saying, you want to numb it, you want to run away. People
Hmm.
become narcissistic. It's all about overcoming the pain and healing. Tell me about how you experience this healing and just for anybody who's listening, what is that experience like? And the changes, a little bit before and after, if also you can talk about, you've touched upon a lot of topics, but still.
So basically, I'm not really too sure on how to describe how it feels, but so like going back to the past, I always had this gloomy cloud on top of my head where it was just constantly raining. I didn't want to get out of bed. There was, I, Even though there was joy in my life, I didn't know how to experience that joy. To me, it was just, I'm a sad person, and maybe that's just who I really am. My husband did God knows what to bring me out of my shell, like to get me out of that mindset. But no matter whatever he did, I couldn't get past the pain that I was experiencing. So I had left my parents' house back in 2020, and now we're in 2025. This issue with me and my husband was basically going on for 5 years because whatever had happened in in my past life, I carried all that baggage with me. And then after working with you, attending those different meetings, attending every weekly healing session, doing the different meditations that you had given me, that baggage is still going to be there. That's something that I've experienced in my life. It's not going to go away, but it doesn't affect me anymore. I can experience life at face value. If something tastes like if some chocolate tastes good, I can finally eat that chocolate and not feel guilty about it and be able to enjoy it. Have the ability to enjoy the home that I have. First, I felt guilty about it because my parents always said, like, and I've never actually expressed this until now, saying apparently my mother had said to my aunt that The house that I live in now would be like, oh, she would never live in that type of house. I do not recall ever saying that, but this is my home. I spent money on this house. I've made so many fond memories in this house, and I have every right to enjoy them.
Absolutely. And if you're comfortable talking about it, if I may, all of these blocks were not letting you express yourself and enjoy the intimacy with your husband, and also how he wanted to express himself to you. You
Mhm.
were not able to receive him before you and I met, right? What's it like now?
So before, there were a lot of things that obviously when two couples, you have intimate moments that you want to do. There's certain ways that you want to express yourself. I was able to do the basics, let's just say, but I don't think I was ever able to give myself more emotionally that in a way that he had wanted. But after working with you, doing the different meditations, I feel like I'm more in love now than I was before.
Wow. Oh my God.
And
I love that.
and because of that, he is so much happier. And seeing him happy makes me happy.
And then both of you want to do more for each other, right? And that just allows beautiful memories and the love to keep growing. And um,
No, for sure.
oh my
And
God, I love that.
like I had said earlier, this was one of the first weekends, even though we spent a lot of time together. So in our basement, we just installed a new wood stove. And this was probably what? I think it was Saturday or Sunday night. I cannot remember the exact day now. It was no, it was Saturday and Sunday. Didn't really say a whole lot to each other, but just being with each other and staying in that room and just enjoying each other's company and just watching the fire dance. It
Wow.
was it was a very beautiful weekend. It was very, very relaxing, and we were just happy to have that time to each other. And you had told me take the dogs out of the picture for a few hours, so that's exactly what I did. And that little change brought us closer together.
Yeah, because you are so distracted with, like, you have three dogs and they're big dogs, right? And there's always like constant motion around you, and you're always interacting with them. I mean, it applies to children as well. I think sometimes children is a little bit harder, but with dogs, like, when I suggested leave them in their room and be just you and your husband, that
Hmm.
way you're more present. Otherwise, you're always yelling at them or telling them what to do, not to do. So I'm so glad you did that as well, because the healing I do, which is at the subconscious deep level, but then we have to take certain learnings into
Hmm.
practical life, which is where you really come in to partner with me. We identify the issues, we identify various steps that you can take. And when you incorporate them, and then
Hmm.
you start to get good results, because you're a whole, right? You're a mind, you're a body, and you're a soul. And all three have to work in unison, in harmony. So I love the fact that you take, the points that we talk about under advisement, and you try and incorporate them. So, and then, there are beautiful uh, times to enjoy, and life gets better. And that's why you came to me, right?
That's exactly why it's like I didn't want to suffer anymore. I didn't want to experience any more pain. I wanted to live a life that was more genuine, more present instead of being in depression and having that cloud always there. Now, actually, I was doing a meditation yesterday. It was a sacral one. I was able to hug my inner child.
Oh, I love it.
Like my inner child was my mother's voice that always bothered me. But now doing like I do the root chakra one, I do the sacral one, I do the heart one. I think I did all three yesterday for whatever reason, just because I had the time. And I just feel so much happier with life. I'm grateful for every single day that I get on this planet. First, it's like just kill me now. I have no reason. Now it's like no. I'm blessed beyond measure. I have everything and anything that I can possibly ask for. And I want to live my life to the fullest as much as I can for every moment that I am blessed with.
Absolutely.
So
And that's what this is about, right? We've come here. There are always issues, there are problems, uh, and our job is to learn to overcome them. And we can't often do it by ourselves. Um, and I think, the soul healing is something that goes so deep within our soul and psyche that once we can shake things out of there and
mhm.
eliminate them, then, life gets really blissful.
That is very well said. At the end of the day, life is life. You're going to experience issues, but it's the way you react to it and the way you handle a certain situation. I don't want to say control because the universe doesn't like control.
I control. So again, just going back to, life is not the same every day. Something can always come up tomorrow. And let's say either but you are unhappy with something or your husband's unhappy with something. And it could be anything. It could be at work, it could be outside of you guys, it could be between you guys. How do you think now you would manage it compared to how you did in the past?
I would address it. Take any, I wouldn't take, I don't want to call it verbal abuse if you want to call it. I would stand up for myself. I would speak up for myself and we will address the issue that's at hand and move forward in a positive manner instead of letting it simmer and not talking to each other for days on end. But no, it's something happens. I don't want to fight with you. I want to move in a positive manner. Have a good light at the end of the tunnel. No, let's work through this because you and I we only have each other at the end of the day.
Right. So let's find out what the problem is. Let's figure it out in a loving, compassionate, and kind manner that
Exactly.
both people get, what they deserve and no conflict.
Exactly. No conflict because first all we had was really conflict because I wasn't carrying my end of the bargain. And now that I was able to, you were able to work through those blocks, I was able to address the issues that I had. Now I am able to carry my end of the bargain, and that shows up in the relationship now.
Yes. I absolutely love it. Do you have anything to add to what you have already mentioned? Any
I just want to say thank you. If you were not in my life, I don't think I would have been this person. I still would have been repeating my negative patterns. I would still be in a negative mindset. And my conflicts would keep on progressing, and it might have gotten to the point where him and I might have been divorced. In a way, you saved my relationship.
Thank you, thank you. That means a lot. I really appreciate your beautiful, kind words. And more than anything, I feel so blessed and validated. My work is so validated by, what you have been able to achieve in a very short period of time. I mean, yes, today we're in month 4, but the benefits you were able to see way early, and walking down this path and healing a little every week and getting good results. That is what I literally live for. That is what my purpose in life is. That gives me absolutely immense joy. And I'm sending you a big virtual hug. And I want nothing but the best for you and Krill, for you to be happy, for you to be just keep building and building a beautiful life, whatever you envision, and just achieve every dream that you ever had and will have.
Doing my best, doing my best. First, like I had these goals, and it's like, okay, well, I don't know what to do. How do I achieve these goals? So I literally just put myself into work because whatever goals I have to do with money, unfortunately. So I was never really present. Now I make it a point to be present, to be there, and to give him the love that he needs. And just of making all these small changes, it's impacted everybody in my life, and everybody is so much happier. At the end of the day, I'm only in my 30s. I don't know why I was in such a rush.
Yeah, you were. I mean, it was because of the wounding and it was the insecurity, and money was the thing that was going to make you feel secure. Everything else seemed transient, whereas all of the other stuff that you have is actually very solid in your life. Money could be transient sometimes. Look at the market
Hmm.
situation right now, right? So you
Exactly.
were
It's
just,
like,
we end up putting our eggs in the wrong basket often.
and that's exactly the situation that I was in. It's because it was always taken away from me, and we're not talking in small amounts, we're talking thousands basically. When it's been taken from you from the moment that you started working. So I started working when I was 16 years old. I'm now in my early 30s. So from that time period of being a teenager basically to this point, constantly being taken away from you. So I was basically trying to grasp whatever I can. It's like, no, nobody can take this away from me. And then when I wanted to quit my corporate job, Krill was completely there for me saying that, you know what, I support your decision and I will support you. In my mindset, because of the wounding that I had, I didn't understand the fact that he was saying, I will support you financially. I was just under the impression that he's okay if I let corporate go. That's what I was thinking in my head. So once real estate took a hit, basically, and now houses are not selling, I started freaking out. It's like, okay, well, where's my next paycheck gonna come from? I'm not making any money. So when I told you about this, you removed whatever block was there. Then I had the conversation saying that I'm scared. I think I need to go back. I need to go find another 9 to 5. He's like, no, focus on real estate. I'll support you. So I'm like, I don't understand what that means. I'm not bringing any money right now from the person that was the I I was a high achiever basically. If I didn't make a certain amount in a year, I wasn't happy with myself. Now we're at the point where I don't have a 9 to 5. I don't have that reliable paycheck coming in. I'm just here trying to sell I'm trying to sell houses. If they don't sell, it is what it is. And then Krill finally explained it, saying that you and I are married. When I said I'll support you, it means if you're not able to pay your bills, I will pay your bills. That basically broke everything in me. It's like, oh my God, what have I been doing? And
Yeah.
after having that conversation and then telling you about it, now it's like, okay, if I sell a house, great. And if that house is meant to sell, if I'm meant to get that commission check, then I'll get it. I can only do what's in my power is to promote those houses. If the right buyer comes along, great. If the listing ends up expiring, then it wasn't meant to sell. That's all it is. I'm not gonna be go I no longer go out of my way to control that situation. It is what it is. And that's the mentality I now live with. Before that, it was I need to control this aspect. I need to sell it. If I don't sell it, I'm not gonna get paid. So that's the before and this is the now. So even though it's the same person, it's two different people. And this happened because of working with you.
And imagine right now the market is dictating everything. I mean, it often does, but now more than ever because nothing is working, nothing is moving.
Hmm.
And if you were to pay a lot of heed to why is my house not selling, and you and I have been through that together. Why is it not selling? And I have no money, and what am I going to do? And even when I try to explain to you that your husband, it's not your bills and his bills, it's our bills, and you're
Hmm.
like partnering. And some days, there's a little bit of an off balance there, which is this time. And I
Hmm.
think he was always in to support you. You just weren't able to see it. And from all the things you've told me about him, he's actually an amazing person. He loves you dearly. I mean, all the things that he has done and how much he has stepped up, is actually not very common. And unfortunately, you weren't able to see it, but I'm so glad that you can, and both of you are so happy and so together, and you'll build an amazing life going forward now, like true partnership.
I I am blessed with a very, very amazing, wonderful husband. And like you said, I didn't see those qualities because I was stuck in my own head of why did all this past shit happen to me? And because of those issues, I wasn't able to see what was in front of me. And for that, I do feel like a terrible wife at that point, but I was dealing with whatever was in my head, so, and I didn't know how to overcome it. And that's when I went looking for answers. And that's how that conversation started with Gary. And that's when you came into the picture. And now we're here, where it went from a person who was struggling with every decision in life to somebody who's genuinely happy. And I just want to say thank you. Sometimes I'm not good at verbalizing such things, but thank you.
My pleasure entirely. I'm honored that you trust me. I'm honored that you share, the deepest parts of yourself with me, and that we can work through them. And then when I see you this way, oh my God, I have no words for how warm my heart gets. So
Well, then, thank you. Another thing that I could say is like it also has to do with self-confidence. So when you're taking, say if you're taking a selfie, I would always put a filter on my face because I was never comfortable showing my true self. So like maybe you can't tell on screen here, but like I naturally have freckles on my skin, and I was very self-conscious about those. I didn't want them to be shown. I wanted smooth skin, but I had acne when I was younger, and recently I started going away. But at this point, you know what? This is my face. This is what I look like. I do not edit my pictures. I don't put on filters anymore. I show up as who I am now. I I never had that self-confidence before.
yeah, and you remember how many times I told you that you were beautiful, and you were like, where do you see that? And
It wasn't
now you
really
see it.
I really do. It's like earlier before our call, I was taking selfies in front of my mirror, sorry, in front of my window and sending them to Krill because it's something that makes him happy too. And he would always tell me, he's like, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous. Stop putting these filters on yourself because I don't like seeing them. Me always had those self-confidence issues that I only felt good taking pictures if I had a filter on my face. But now I take pictures and I look at that just like, who is this girl?
Yeah, that was Amy then, and this is Amy now.
Yeah. But no, thank you. All in all, so much happier. And now I, to me, life is now beautiful. I could not say that at first.
And may it continue to get sweeter and sweeter for you. That is my wish for you.
Thank you. Thank you. I, I appreciate that.
And I really appreciate you, and thank you so much for coming on this video, and sharing your story. People who will listen will know there is hope, there are solutions, that they don't have to suffer, and that there is happiness beyond what they may be feeling in the moment. And it is very possible, and healing is the way to go.
Definitely, very well said. I couldn't have expressed it in such terms even if I wanted to, but there is help out there. If you're feeling a certain way, where if you want to deal with issues in your life, I highly recommend that they call you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Um,
Of course, or anybody
I
that is watching, take it from me, from the person that I was to the person that I am now. get in touch with me. I can tell you, and I would still highly recommend that you get in touch with Ajita.
For your time, for the call, for your candor. Uh, and I will see you in our session soon.
Yep, I'll talk to you on Thursday.
I'll see you on Thursday. Take
Okay,
care. Bye for
bye.
now.